wow, this week is already happening. Monday already happened. Do you feel like everything is happening all at once? Because it's going to get worse. This week throws however many more wrenches into whatever you've got going on. We have the most chaotic part of Mercury retrograde all this week. We have Venus concluding the most chaotic or gut-wrenching part of the Venus retrograde, ending this week. I don't know how I began that sentence, so I don't know how to end it. And that's kind of how this week goes. And also the sun moves into Aries, so it's spring, which is exciting. That's the sun moving into Aries. It's spring in the northern hemisphere. I follow the fashion markets, so that's spring. I know that fashion houses show for spring in the winter, so I'm just talking about like spring has come to market. It's in stores now. Monday already happened. Monday, the moon, you woke up, the moon was in Scorpio, and all day it was just the moon applying to a square with Pluto. So that's like kind of a drag, kind of a slog, like heavy lifting stuff. I feel like today required a lot of muscle, but whatever. Now I'm just talking about how my day went, and that's not doing astrology. All day Tuesday is just the moon trining the malefics. So the moon, all day the moon is applying to a trine with Mars. That's the moon in fall, applying to its ruler, Mars in fall. So there's something that happens naturally. There's like an ease and a grace to whatever this fallen moon Mars thing is. It's like things go well, but what you're up to is pretty down and dirty. Or it has like it does not have rose tinted glasses. It's easy as hell, but it is not idealized, I guess, unless it is, because Neptune is technically involved. The moon also trines, so that's the moon in Scorpio trining Mars in Cancer. Stuff about emotional protection and actual protection and your abilities to do the Mars thing, get the work done, protect the realm, are successful, or they work out to a reasonable degree. I keep looking at my screen because I'm afraid that I'm not recording. So that's all day Tuesday. It goes exact around 5 p.m. Pacific time. And then at night, the moon is applying to a trine with Saturn. So same thing, except Saturn it doesn't like lack the dignity in Pisces that Mars and Cancer has. So there's something like somber. It is what it is. And there's also stuff under the hood, and that is what it is, like emotional stuff or things swimming around in the unseen. Maybe it's just like you do your workout on Tuesday. Wednesday is busy. Half the day is the moon in Scorpio, so we're still getting the same vibe of Monday and Tuesday, which is just kind of like dragging your ass around, getting the things done. Like you got the things done on Tuesday, I hope. And Wednesday is a similar drag. But maybe something surprising happened on Tuesday night, which is why my marker thingy is still on Tuesday. So something surprising Tuesday night, possibly upsetting. The moon is opposing the moon is opposing Uranus and Taurus, the moon in Scorpio. is opposing Uranus and Taurus. Can you tell that I'm frazzled? Like, this isn't, my week hasn't, it has technically begun because it is Monday, but the things on my plate have not even begun to pile up, and they already feel like a huge ass pile. So Wednesday, the moon trines Neptune. The moon in Scorpio trines Neptune. So remember I said on Tuesday, Neptune isn't involved, or wasn't, but it is. So maybe there's some sort of maybe there is a like soft layer of romance available to you on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, that continues. It's also like Neptune is dissolution, deception, media. The sun is going to conjoin Neptune today, Wednesday. It does it while the moon is in Sagittarius. So there's a vibe shift. And I would say, like, I went through this whole big thing last year about meditating when the sun conjoins Neptune in Pisces. The sun conjoining Neptune can show you the unseen layers of being. It's like the koshas in the yogic tradition. Maybe I'll link to that old video if you want some more insight on that. What was I saying? Sometimes I just need a minute, and then I feel the need to talk through the gaping silence. But that's because I'm by myself. So yeah, the moon trines Neptune. The moon is our activator of the zodiac. And the sun conjoins Neptune on this day, Wednesday. I would normally say meditate, but I don't think I'm going to have time. They say if you don't have 20 minutes to meditate, then you should meditate for an hour. So I hope I can take my own advice. But my mom is in town, and excuse me, Mom, I have to go meditate for an hour. I know I should be able to have that boundary, but you don't understand. Like the way that things are good, the schedule, the logistics, it's like a whole thing. So, and then there's like a lot of work I got to do. And this isn't enough about me. So around the middle of the day or mid-afternoon, no. Around the middle of the day or more later in the afternoon if you're on the East Coast in North America, the moon was into Sagittarius. So Wednesday should be fun, uplifting. We're headed in, spring is about to begin. We're on it's like the last hours of winter. So celebrate. You made it through the winter. It was a rough one. The future is coming. It's coming tomorrow. The moon also trines Venus on Wednesday night. So that's nice. Like normally that's nice for fun, but this is the moon in Sagittarius trining Venus in detriment and retrograde. So it might be complicated. It might be more opportunities to get yourself in trouble. Venus hasn't quite reached the interior conjunction yet, but that happens this week. So the interior conjunction marks the middle of Venus retrograde. So the moon trining Venus is giving us a little taste of like the spring to come and the future to come. And if you're wondering what the future, I just put out a short video about eyeball scanning and how you're going to want it. You're going to go seek it out eventually. These things like digital IDs, they're not coming in a way where people are going to force you to get it. It's you're going to want it because it's a status symbol and you won't be able to function in the world. It's going to be kind of like there was like another thing that the power structure was creating a network of requirements around to make it so that it was very hard to live in the world without getting that thing. That's what's going on with the quote-unquote digital IDs, which is just like you are a digital person now. And you are money, and everything you do is an exchange of money. And that's Saturn, Neptune in Aries, and Uranus in Gemini, which happens officially in the summer. And so if you think like the future, you can see the future coming now, it's really going to arrive this summer. And all those things in easy aspects with Pluto and Aquarius. Also on Wednesday night before that, the moon sextiles Pluto in Sagittarius, which is our Neuralink aspect. It's our merging with our technologies. And you should, if you're living in a context that requires use of any type of technology, get to know your tools. Learn how to meld with your tools. Go into drift. Have you seen that movie, Pacific Rim? I love that movie. I love it. So go into drift with your giant robot. That movie was technically like it was two people had to run the giant robot and they had to go into drift together. So yeah, that's a little like all those things, Uranus in Gemini, Pluto in Aquarius. Anyway, so the moon in Sagittarius is trining that. I like piloting giant robots for Uranus and Gemini, trining Pluto in Aquarius. Except in the real future, that giant robot would have a blockchain brain. The humans, it's funny that movie Pacific Rim is going on a tangent, is kind of old-timey because the humans will not be inside the robot. They will be remotely operating the robot. Thursday, it's spring, or it is autumn in the southern hemisphere, but it's spring in fashion, and that's what I'm going by. And maybe I should do a video on why I just say spring and I diss the people in the southern hemisphere, which I'm not really doing. I'm not going to get into that right now. I say spring because I'm here in the northern hemisphere, and why the zodiac functions the same. We don't turn the zodiac upside down in the southern hemisphere, and there are reasons for that. I'm not going to get into those reasons right now, but let me know if you want me to make a separate video about it. I mean, I still need to make my electricity demons video. I haven't made that yet. I think it's been like a year. So spring starts immediately on Thursday. The spring equinox technically happens 2 a.m. Pacific time. So hooray, it's spring. The sun is in Aries. Everything, things are about to go down. The sun is moving into Aries and Neptune is about to move into Aries. We're going to get a taste of some, romanticizing war, glorifying war and crime, and maybe like getting into war for the wrong reasons. Mars-Neptune signatures, and this is Neptune in a Mars-ruled sign, and Mars is not doing well. It's doing better than it was, but it could be doing better. Mars-Neptune signatures also sometimes have like you can get a situation of like, what the, I can't bleep myself because I'm not going to edit this. What the heck is your problem? What the heck is that guy's problem? It's like you got a problem, but it's like you're all twisted up. And this is the time. I said it wasn't time for it in like one of my past videos, but like this is the time when you can very much be hoisted by your own petard. And that metaphor is beautifully appropriate for Neptune in Aries, or for like fiery Mars-Neptune signatures, of which your hostess has natally. Anyway, so there could be a little bit of like delusional about what you're angry about. And also, here comes the metaverse. Neptune in Aries, if we're going to talk about Aries in terms of identity, it's me, I'm proving myself. We're doing that in the metaverse now. You don't have a choice. And if you think that's weird and you would never like live in the metaverse, social media is the metaverse. So if you thought it was strange that Meta changed its name to Meta and started doing metaverse stuff a few years ago, that's not weird. Social media is the metaverse. I think it was not this week. It was last week or the week before. Sam Altman's project, World Networks. It was formerly called WorldCoin. Now it's just called World. They have a coin called WorldCoin. They came out with a chat app. They said they wanted, people were requesting / needing a DM layer. So now you can like chat with each other in your wallet. You are your wallet. Your identity is your wallet. It's spring, the sun's in Aries. These things are coming. Thursday, the moon trines Mercury retrograde. So Mercury is still, we're still in the first half of Mercury retrograde, which is the glitchiest. So there could be misunderstandings, missed communications, delays. But this is the moon in Sagittarius trining Mercury in Aries. So look at the Sagittarius part of your life and the Aries part of your life. What houses are those? And there's something like easy that's going to happen. Like maybe you get thrown, not a curve ball, but like the pitcher just lobs the ball to you and you hit it, you knock it out of the park. That's amazing. It will probably come back. It will probably be like a ball. Form of boomerang. It's going to come back somehow, or not really have wings to like fly off into the sunset. It gets like thrown back into the park. This is I don't think I need to keep talking about that, but it's something easy that might not like pan out, or it could, depending on your relationship with Mercury. I personally have a really weird relationship with Mercury, and it works, it functions, it doesn't work right. It functions, it's like trying to drive a car. Learning how to use my Mercury is like trying to drive a car in the southern hemisphere, or like on the wrong side of the road with the wheel on the wrong side of the car. So it depends on your relationship with Mercury, but Moon and Sag trining Mercury retrograde in Aries before the conjunction. Something happens really easy and you're like, wow, that was so easy, and then there's more problems later, or you didn't quite finish it, or something needs to be addressed again later probably. And also on Thursday, the moon opposes Jupiter. The moon in Sagittarius opposes its ruler, Jupiter, in Gemini. So that's fun. Thursday could be fun and filled with ease, even if things come back under review. Even if you're overwhelmed, you have way too much shit going on, pardon my language. Thursday maybe feels like more stimulating. You know, right now we're in like rainy, sad, soggy Pisces time, and the beginning of this week the moon is in Scorpio. So Thursday is much different than like Monday and Tuesday and the first part of Wednesday. But also, let me go back to Thursday. I'm just doing this with tunnel vision. So also, the moon squares Saturn. It's technically Friday mid-morning, but it's also Thursday night. Like that's the next thing the moon is doing after the moon opposes Jupiter. Did I say the moon opposes Jupiter at night? It's technically like in the evening. It's more like around dinner time, depending on when you eat dinner. So late night, the after party is not like that exciting or exhilarating. There's something like being brought back down to earth, or like back down into your biology, back down into like some of that somber Pisces stuff, because Saturn is still in Pisces and Neptune is still in Pisces for now. Okay, so Friday, we have that Sun squaring Saturn, which is a little more serious. Oh, hi, Friday. Sun squaring Saturn. It's a little more serious. A little more less airy-fairy and inspiring. More just like I already described it. I'm sorry. There's like a crazy amount of rain here, and I live in a place that doesn't really get a lot of rain right now, and it's very distracting because I record by a window, and there's normally never anything going on outside this window, but right now there is an egregious, torrential amount of rain, just like diagonally slamming into the window, into the side of the building I'm in. So I can't concentrate. And that's how this week is going. So on Friday, we have the moon square Saturn thing. So less fun. But it doesn't have to be all that bad. It's not like the worst moon Saturn square ever, unless it is for you, because everybody's different. And then Venus sextiles Pluto. And this is the second Venus-Pluto sextile. The first one happened in early February. It was February 7th. And there will be another one. This is because Venus is retrograde. The next one is May 6th. So Venus in Aries sextiling Pluto in Aquarius. If you want to know more about that, go watch my Venus retrograde video, which is like a few videos earlier. And I also have a whole Venus retrograde playlist that it's videos from the last Venus retrograde in 2023, but it'll still give you, if you don't understand what Venus retrograde is about, you can get some general insight, even though it's from a different time. And on Friday night, the moon squares Neptune. So maybe you're trying to have a good time, and maybe you have like too good of a time, or it is Venus retrograde, so have you given up things that are not serving you? Are you doing that? And then maybe you lapse, like, I don't know what I'm going to do if I'm not eating sugar, but like I'm going to go out to eat with my mom, and I want to have dessert. It's not that I really want dessert that bad. I want to eat dessert with my mom. I don't want to be a weirdo where like she orders dessert and I'm just like sitting there with my decaf espresso because I'm not having caffeine either, and I don't enjoy alcohol. So maybe that's how the moon is going to square Neptune for me on Friday. Another version of that is you can overindulge, or you like, it's like too much intoxication, or something happens with your emotions and you you become inordinately sad. Or like the Sag moon wants to go, and Neptune in Pisces wants to chill and will, because it is a god in the outer realm. Man, it's so distracting to talk with the rain. Saturday, finally. I've been waiting for Saturday. The sun makes its interior conjunction with Venus. And if you want to know more about that, watch my Venus retrograde video. But that happens at the end of the day. So in the middle of the night, when you wake up on Saturday, the moon will be in Capricorn. So very different. More practical, more stony, more, we're not going to get that. The moon was squaring Neptune in Pisces. There's something like too volatile, just like too, it's like lighting alcohol on fire, kind of, the moon, the fire Sag moon with like watery Neptune in Pisces, like lighting alcohol on fire. Water and fire are two volatile elements in like the Western tradition of alchemy. So now the moon is in an earth sign. So we're a little more, hopefully we have slowed our roll, or we get the opportunity to, because this week is a lot. It has been a lot. It has been very volatile. And we get the moon squaring did I say Neptune moves into Aries this week? Because it doesn't. That's next week. Okay. Thank you for bearing with me as normally if I'm frazzled, I'm editing my videos so I can play it off and at least kind of seem like I'm not sort of. I don't know if you pick up on it or not. You probably do. You probably pick up on me being frazzled more than I think you do when I'm editing my videos. But today, I am very busy and I haven't managed my commitments properly. So that is the spirit of this week. And Neptune does not move into Aries. And on Saturday, the moon, activator of the zodiac, squares both Venus and Mercury. And Venus is about to conjoin the sun. So this is like the final death throes, to use a very graphic reference, because we're about to be reborn. And that process is going to begin on Sunday in a very like nascent way. Like in the same way that like when the moon is dark and it's technically waxing, but you still can't see it yet. It'll be like that, but with Venus on Sunday. But on Saturday is like the final countdown, the final ugliest parts, maybe the final like plot points of whatever the Venus downfall is and has been. And the moon squaring Venus before that happens is going to point to that and activate it. And the moon also squares Mercury retrograde. So there's something like, did you notice that Mercury retrograde, when Mercury stationed last week, there was like extra chaos thrown into the mix. And it's stuff that has to do with like other things, but it's still kind of in the same realm. So that is Saturday. Saturday is basically all about Venus conjoining the sun and the chaos in the realm of Aries. And Sunday, the sun sextiles Pluto in Aquarius. So I want you to pay attention to this for this year and all of next year. Pay attention to what is going on the first part of Sunday and like constellating around Sunday with the sun completing its sextile with Pluto and Aquarius. This is like the metaverse is coming. It is here. You're going to become a digital cartoon person whose biology has been inserted into the digitized world, whether you want it or not. The thing that that chat app, that WorldCoin, World Networks, put into its wallet, you access this mini app through your wallet. I know I already said that, but it deserves reiterating. So it has the blue bubble things like in Apple Messages. But the blue bubble is for verified people. So if you're DMing in this secure, ostensibly secure, because I don't know, it's secure because they tell me. It's not because I don't have any way to prove it. And it probably is like, obviously, very secure. Much more secure than what we're doing right now. Anyway, what was I saying? You're DMing with someone in your wallet, through their wallet. Your wallet is now your identity. And your identity, your digital identity is going to be like blur more and more into being you. And this is particularly interesting since Neptune is moving into Aries next week. Not this week, but it's very close. The Sun conjoins Neptune, by the way, at it is 29:59, I think. Oh. Well, here, according to my printed out calculations, it's 29:36. I thought it was 29:59. So pay attention to the Sun sextile Pluto. Oh, what I was saying. So it has like the blue messages, and that's for people. You get a blue bubble if your eyeball has been scanned and you're a verified human. You get a gray bubble if you're not that. That's the world we're headed into, is this status signaling for being a human or a robot. We have to verify you. Otherwise, we don't know if you're a bot or not. And it's going to be like that. Like this is a chat app, but all of social media is probably going to be like that. So I think you get a blue bubble and then there's like a unique gem or something. So we're probably going to have these like, in the same way we have like become verified on Instagram. They ask for your ID. I haven't done it because whatever. I have 50 followers. But this verification is going to continue. And you're going to have like a verification thingy on all your stuff. And anyone who doesn't have that will be accused of being a bot. So Sunday seems kind of gnarly. The moon is, okay. Just caused my camera to move. Whatever. So, yeah, Sunday seems kind of gnarly because we have the moon opposing Mars in Cancer, the moon in Capricorn, the moon in detriment opposing Mars in Cancer. So they each they get a taste of maybe each other in dignified signs. So it could be way worse. They are both in, oh God, I look like I just came in from recess. Can you tell? This is a temporary setup and it's very tenuous. And I have to set it up anew every time I shoot, which is tremendously annoying. When I lived in Denver, I just had Everything was all set up. I just press a button. So the moon opposes Mars in Cancer. And that's in the afternoon. So that's basically all day Sunday. Like if you wake up in the morning, like early in the morning, your whole day is the moon applying to Mars in Cancer. And the moon is in the sign of its detriment. Mars is in the sign of its fall. At least these two planets in these two signs, even though they're not in good shape in these two signs, they have a relationship with each other that could be somewhat helpful. That's not always the case with planets, undignified planets aspecting each other. And the moon in Capricorn also sextiles Saturn in Pisces, which Saturn is ruler of the moon currently, so we're checking in with the boss. No, you can't take a cigarette break or like a longer lunch break or have a martini lunch or whatever. Maybe you can't even take a lunch. You have to just keep working. But it's Sunday, so how does that translate to Sunday? This goes exact Sunday night also. So it's like Daddy, the man of the house, in the tablinum of a Roman home, like doing the calculations of like getting the bills paid because the first of the month is coming. And it's just a very serious, practical thing that needs to be done this Sunday instead of like revelry and celebration. There is the most insane wind and rain just pounding against the window that I'm next to. And the moon trines Uranus. It's like it gets louder and more crazy the more I talk about it. I sound angry, but I'm just like, I'm kind of delighted. I like extreme weather sometimes. So at night on Sunday, the moon trines Uranus. The moon in Capricorn trining Uranus in Taurus. So something physical, a little zap of something unexpected, or you just like go on an unexpected, weird shopping situation or something. There's something about like goods and like business and goods, I feel like, with this moon trine Uranus. Venus is still retrograde, so whatever goods are involved might not be what's the word I'm looking for? There's still something cautionary around Venus things, if these are luxury goods or something pleasurable, which it could very likely be because it's Uranus in Taurus. So if these are chocolate chip cookies or something, maybe you leave them out too long and they get hard, and so they're not like soft and chewy like you prefer them, which is just apply that metaphor to whatever the areas of Capricorn and Taurus are in your life. And the only thing, like if you're up late, if you have like up late on Sunday and it's the after party, the moon is sextiling Neptune in Pisces, and it's one of the last aspects. There are just a handful of aspects with, did I say Uranus? I meant Neptune. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I did say Neptune. I think it's one of the last aspects with the moon and Neptune in Pisces. It might be like the second to last aspect. Wow. Before it moves into Aries. Neptune is going to move back into Pisces, by the way, this like fall, winter, for a really short time. So, well, I don't know. It's not that short. I'm getting ahead of myself. Remember, your Wi-Fi is a camera that can see through walls.